Unless we claim them both, and that is lethal. Let's double down, baby! Woohoo! All aboard! Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. We are playing the #1 ranked Mythic deck right now, brought to us by Shield Maiden, another Twitch streamer. Go check her out, she is absolutely amazing and crushing rank this September 2020 season within, Core Set 2021. We have Zendikar Rising just around the corner, 14 more sleeps, and we're there. So buckle up, get ready, and to hold you guys off while we wait, we'll be looking at this Rakdos Sacrifice deck. Now this is a standard deck. I do not believe it's rotation proof, as we have Priests of the Forgotten Gods sticking out like a sore thumb. So don't worry about spending your wildcards here if you have to. Just kind of wait the season out, play some of the free-to-play decks I have on the channel, and let's get into some of these new Zendikar cards, right? Save that gold, save your gems, save your wildcards, and it's going to be a great time. I know I'm excited. With all that jazz out of the way, you guys know the drill. We're breaking down the deck list in its entirety. Then we're going to talk strategies and synergies. How do all of those cards come together to form a really well-working, coherent archetype? Finally, we'll watch some gameplay footage breaking down all of the playlines and interactions between this deck and the rest of the environment or the metagame. It's not enough to know how your deck works. You need to know how it works against the rest of your contenders, right? To get the most out of those interactions, mitigate your weaknesses, and take advantage of your strengths. And these weaknesses and strengths will vary based upon the different matchups, right? We are playing traditional today, which means we have a sideboard incorporated. We're not only going to break down the deck list, but we'll also be breaking down our sideboard. And then when we're in the gameplay footage, our sideboard plays and choices as well to help familiarize yourself with best of 3, getting you ready and comfortable, confident to tackle it, because I do find it is the easiest and most consistent way to gain rank within MTG Arena. You only need to win 3 in a row. You just grab yourself a new rank. There's that 1 loss protection when you do get a new rank, so that's great, and it makes it quite consistent, especially if you are not a fan of the shuffler, you don't like getting bad hands that get you bad mulligans. It gives you an extra chance or two to come back from that, which I really like. So we're playing traditional, best of 3 today in standard, non-rotation proof. Let's get right into it. Of course, before we do, if you find any value in the video, give it a thumbs up. It looks so much better once it's turned blue, and then you can share the channel out to a friend as well. Okay, so we've got a companion within the deck, Lurrus of the Dream Den. I'm sure you're all familiar. It's a 3/2, and when we have a companion in our decks as the companion, we need to follow a set of deck building rules. In this case, each permanent card in your starting deck has converted mana cost 2 or less. During each of your turns, you may cast up to 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. So that's really nice. The thing about companions is we do have to pay 3 generic mana sorcery speed to bring the companion into our hand from the sideboard. Into our 1-drops, we have a single copy of Weaponize the Monsters, an enchantment in which we can pay 2 to sacrifice a creature. Weaponize the Monsters deals 2 damage to any target. 4 copies of Claim the Firstborn, sorcery speed, gain control of target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less until the end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. 4 copies of Village Rites, instant speed, as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. 4 copies of Gutterbones, a 2/1, entering the battlefield tapped. We can pay 2 to return it from the graveyard to our hand at sorcery speed on our turn, only if an opponent has lost life this turn. 4 copies of Archfiend's Vessel, a 1/1 with lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, if it entered from the graveyard or was cast from the graveyard, exile it. If you do, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Into our 2-drops, 3 copies of Mire Triton, a 2/1 with Death Touch. And when it enters the battlefield, mill 2 cards and you gain 2 life. We actually have an additional copy here, so 4 copies of Mire Triton total. Sorry about that. This is a historic card, doesn't need to be. Even though we are playing in standard, you're allowed to use the historic cards in standard as long as that card name is still standard legal. It doesn't have to rely on the set. So just having a little fun there with that, I guess. Priests of the Forgotten Gods. We have 4 copies of this as well. It's a 1/2 in which we can tap it to sacrifice 2 other creatures we control. any number of target players each sacrifices a creature, loses 2 life, and we will add 2 black mana to our pool and draw a card. 4 copies of Dreadhorde Butcher, 1/1 with haste. When it deals combat damage to player or planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. 3 copies of Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, a 6/6, which is self-sacrificed unless it's escaped. The escape cost is 2 black and 2 red mana source, plus exiling 5 cards from your graveyard. Whenever Kroxa enters the battlefield or attacks, opponent discards a card from their hand. If it's a non-land card this way, they will not lose life. If it is a land card, they lose 3 life. So that's a lot of fun. Just a little bit more chip damage there. Fiend Artisan for 1/1. It gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. We can pay X +1 black or green mana source and tapping it to sacrifice another target creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less. Put it into the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So, you know, that's not so bad to pull out a specific card if we need to close out the game. It's also a cool sacrifice effect that we can trigger with our Village Rites or Claim the Firstborn, etc., etc. Into our 1 and only 3-drop, we have 3 copies of it. Call of the Death Dweller, sorcery speed. Return up to 2 target creature cards with total converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, and then put a Menace counter on either of them as well. These spells are accompanied by 4 Fabled Passage, 4 Blood Crypts, 6 Mountains, 7 Swamps, and 2 Castle Locthwains. Our sideboard is looking at 3 copies of Agonizing Remorse for 2 sorcery speed. Targeted opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, or a card from their graveyard. Exile that card, you lose 1 life. 2 copies of Heartless Act, instant speed. Choose 1, destroy target creature with no counters on it. Remove 3 counters from target creature. 3 copies of Noxious Grass, instant speed for 2, destroy target creature or planeswalker that's green or white, you gain 1 life. 3 copies of Embereth Shieldbreaker. Battle Display, sorcery speed, adventure for 1, tagged onto the Shieldbreaker for 2, which is a 2/1 Human Knight. And 3 copies of Angrass Rampage, sorcery speed, choose 1, target player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or planeswalker. That's the list. Let's break down these strategies and synergies. It all is about chip damage here and field control. Chip damage is done, you know, a multitude of ways. We have Priest of Forgotten Gods is able to deal 2 chip damage to our opponent. Kroxa is able to deal chip damage when it enters or attacks, and the Dreadhorde Butcher deals chip damage when it dies. We also have chip life gained through our Mire Triton, I guess that's what you could call that. When it enters the battlefield, gain a little bit of life, and then we're going to be milling cards into our graveyard, which will help us escape our Kroxa into the field. It also helps us get our Archfiend's Vessel into the grave for Call of the Death Dweller and Lurrus to pull it back out, making it a 5/5. You can also replay your Kroxa from the grave with Lurrus and with Call of the Death Dweller. It will sacrifice itself again. Ideally, you play it with Lurrus, and you can just drop it every single turn for 2. Sign me up. That is very, very nice, right? And, you know, we do have the sacrifice effect, Claim the Firstborn. This is a draw engine plus field control from our opponent. Best combined with Claim the Firstborn, taking one of our opponent's creatures, and then we have stuff like Village Rites to sacrifice it, Weaponize the Monsters to sacrifice it, Priest of the Forgotten Gods to sacrifice it, Fiend Artisan to sacrifice it, and, you know, worst case scenario, we could even nuke it with our own sideboard if we had to, with a Rampage, a Heartless Act, or a Grasp, potentially, if we didn't have a normal sack outlet to kill it, because we don't want to take their creature and then give it back to them. We want to take their creature and then kill it after we're done using it, right? To really get that value out of the whole situation. If they have a creature on the board state, you claim one of them, they're left with a secondary, and then you priest, they'll have to sacrifice that one, and then you can sacrifice the one that you took from them. So that is huge value. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. There's nothing new to this deck. Get that Dreadhorde Butcher out right away for that haste attack. Get it to a 2/2, a 3/3, a 4/4, and that is going to be enough to win you the game. You know, you can sacrifice your Butcher with your Artisan to deal a whole bunch of damage to your opponent, you know, just to pull out another Butcher or to pull out a Priest or whatever you want, you can pull out. Even another Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. You only have to pay 3 plus the sack to pull it out, and it deals 3 damage again, right? So if the Dreadhorde Butcher is a 4/4, boom, you're dealing 4 damage. You're pulling out Kroxa, dealing another 3 damage for 7 damage that turn. Plus, you could have attacked that turn, you know, for that 3. So it would have been 10 damage potentially, which is deadly. So there's a ton of different ways to add up that chip damage onto your opponent. Weaponize the monster. You can just straight up sacrifice a creature and deal 2 damage to any target. That's pretty good, right? Not bad, especially when you do get your opponent down to those lower amounts. Woof, woof, woof. I wish I could go more in depth into this deck. Archfiend Vessel comes out as a 5/5 if you use Call of the Death Dweller or Lurrus to pull it back into play. That's really, really nice. Yeah, that's it. Claim the Firstborn on their stuff, attack them, and then sacrifice what you took of theirs. That's literally it. Let's break down the sideboard, though. There is almost no removal in the main board, other than the Death Touch from Mire Triton and the Sacrifice from Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Other than that, your SOL, Claim the Firstborn, I guess, could potentially count, but, you know, you have to have that Priest for that. So, if your opponent has stuff you need to remove, you need to exile, Agonizing Remorse, just go after it. If it's an Earl, you know, you want to hit that right away. Heartless Act, similar thing. Questing Beasts, stuff that you just need to remove right away. Noxious Grass, this hits creatures and planeswalkers, so, you know, it's great for Nissas and, you know, stuff like that, Azorius Flyers, blah, blah, blah. Shieldbreaker takes out the Clover, and the Rampage is just an additional sacrifice effect. If there's a planeswalker you can't get to, or a artifact, or even, you know, potentially a creature, right? So, if you need removal, it's in the sideboard. If not, use your main board. Obviously, Noxious Grasp only comes in play against green and white. Heartless Act only comes in play against creatures without counters on them. Agonizing Remorse comes into play against things that you need away from their hand, whether it's field wipes, extinction events, Urros, just stuff that annoys you. Get it out of there with the Remorse, and then the Rampage is a little bit more removal. So if you need removal, take out what didn't do good, put in what is good. You know, my go-to is kind of dropping the greed factor in the deck and upping the consistency. So we drop the Fiend Artisan, we drop Weaponize the Monsters, and then we sideboard in a little bit of our chosen removal, and then, you know, maybe a Mire Triton goes out as well. Never touch Claim the Firstborns, never touch Village Rites, never touch Priest, right? And never touch Kroxa, probably, unless they're dealing with your graveyard, right? It all is situational, and that's why we have today's gameplay footage, so we can break down those situations, so you're going to get a better idea of which way to progress in each different scenario. So if you found any value within this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It looks so much better blue, and share this video and channel out to your friends. I'm also live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. At 7 a.m. we're on Twitch, and then back again on YouTube at 6 p.m. All times are Mountain Standard. We're using MTG Assistant today as well. You know, it's the greatest add-on for Magic the Gathering. We get deck write-ups, deck videos, metagame analysis, so much more as well. I could make an hour-long video about all the ins and outs of MTG Assistant. That's the Overwolf link below. Everything else is in the Linktree link below. You don't want to do the time conversions for my live schedule. I get it. You know, just go in, follow, subscribe, hit the notifications, and boom, comes up on your phone. Now you get to make the choice in the moment, avoiding all of that remembering and stress. Let technology do the heavy lifting for you. Thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate it. Have yourselves a wicked day. Enjoy this #1 ranked Mythic deck by Shield Maiden. Go give her a shout out on Twitch. Tell her Hello Good Game sends you. And thank you for the deck, ma'am. Really appreciate that. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to watch to the end for my closing thoughts on the deck. And we have some vlog style close-up. You know, everything that you don't care about right at the end. And if you do want to skip to certain parts within the video, you know, we do have that timestamp at the bottom, so you can do so. All right, you guys, enjoy. First game of the day. First game with Rakdos Sacrifice. This is a top-ranked Mythic deck, and we're in Platinum. I'm pretty sure it'll work. Right? Not much thought needs to go behind it at this point. Take a look at our deck list. You know, just classic sacrifice stuff. You know, we can go with Weaponize the Monsters, but I'm going to take the Summoning Sickness off of Gutterbones. It comes in tapped. You know, normally you can still block with a creature who has Summoning Sickness, but not when it comes in tapped. And look at this cat. It just seems to be going absolutely crazy. Mire Triton in play. More field presence. Self-mill's not the worst. And we can take our first 2 damage. We can claim their first creature. There it is. Absolutely love it. Tap it for mana. Then we sack it. We don't really get to use that mana though. It's a bit of a bum. Risen Reef. Illegal! They are gonzo after this. We take that hit for 5. And we nuke the Risen Reef. We have claimed and Village Rites 2 of their creatures back to back. I don't even know what to say about that. Alright, viewing the battlefield always, we've got Yorion Elementals. So... the creature removal is nice, I guess. Right? Sacrifice we don't really need because we can target them. So it would be better to take in our Heartless Axe, actually. And we didn't see any Planeswalkers, so that's fine. And no artifacts either. Green or white. You know, we could live with that as well. As far as what we drop, you know, maybe the Fiend Artisans. They're kind of awkward here. Bringing back, we're searching for Kroxa where the Butcher is nice though. It's the Elementals, so we're probably not getting a lot of attacks in. Flyer's nice. I'm gonna drop 2 Tridents. The Death Touch is kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't think they'll be doing a ton. It's not like there's massive creatures we need to deal with, and then they could potentially just go around us, right? We'll toss this, looking for more land. Keeping 6. Again, looking at our deck list really quick, it seems so low to the ground that we can probably toss a land. If we can get Lurrus in play and just start recycling, that'll be a lot better. For instance, Lurrus into an Archfiend Vessel is really nice. Interesting. Paying life. You know, let's just get our Gutterbones out. Vessel can sit in hand for a hot second. Pays life for his Druid. Really wants to ramp. Let's hit him with the Priest. No attacks, they can defend. I hope we draw an untapped land next turn, so we can double down. The Dreadhorde Butcher is a great way for us to kill the Risen Reef. For example, if we play the Butcher, they have to sack the Druid, and then we can deal the Butcher damage to the Risen Reef here. So this is ideal. Just kind of trying to think ahead and pre-planning those steps that our opponent's going to be taking. Oh, right, we don't even have to. This is maddening. Yeah, they're going to concede here again. Claim the Firstborn is broken, you guys. Like, just stop it. Not to mention Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So they have to sacrifice the Druid. We sacrifice our Reef and the Vessel. We're up to 3. Lurrus is in hand. We can play Lurrus, and if we draw a land, play our Vessel. If not, we're just in with our Butcher. Risen Reef is such a good card if it gets loose. Another version of it. Wow. We can play Lurrus. We don't want to do that. Mire Triton in play. Just for the little bit of a mill. Getting more vessels in the grave. Butcher can come into play here as well. We will Priest right away to kill the Reef. Sacrificing our Trident and the Bonesies. And that will allow our Dreadhorde Butcher to attack. Going to 2, they're at 10. You know, even. So Extinction Event makes us pretty sad, but in a creature-based deck, are they going to do that? Alright, Priest should go, but they hit the Butcher instead. Sure. Good game. We could play our Vessel. You know, there's a lot of really nice cards in there, and easy wins already. Our opponent goes first, only 1 land. Can't do it. Keeping 6, and we will toss ourselves out a mountain here. If our opponent doesn't play, this is nice for us. Just keep all those cards in your hand, please. Two Kroxa is kind of cool. We'll open up with our Butcher here. Just to get it going. Could be Petty Theft. Could be even just removal. Priority is held up, so it's something. Yeah, baby. Okay. We should have pushed with the Trident first, tried to pull the removal. Arrow in play. Pretty nasty stuff there. Let's get our Priest in play. And then we can try and Kroxa instant speed sack. Next turn. Into another Kroxa. Well, actually, no, the land will be wrong. I'm pretty sure. Unless we leave 1 mountain, which, yeah, no, that doesn't work. Our opponent is ramping. They don't have something to sack, but I'll still take the draw. We can Village Rites our next Kroxa. We have enough in the grave for our other to enter as a creature. Arrows in play, whatever. Where's a Claim the Firstborn when you need it? 8.7%. They're totally tapped. Claim off the top, baby. Not quite. They discard a land, doesn't really matter. We can come in tapped, no tax. Maybe an instant speed Village Rites would have been cool. Nice.
Accept a lesser world, and you will grow lost to history.
That's a good game, because, you know, Urro's 3 and we're at 2.
Creation.
Woohoo! Ouchies. Uggin's still winning games, hey, even today. Which means our Agonizing Remorse comes in. Monsters can go out, and I'm going to drop the Fiend Artisans as well. We really need to grab that claim in hand. Make use of it when Uro hits. It's a great way to win the game. Yeah, Uggin's totally fair. I mean, it's an expensive field wipe, I'll admit that. Let's see. Well, I guess it's like 2 extinction events. Actually, better than that, it hits non-land permanents too, or like non-creature permanents. Like artifacts and what have you. Patiently waiting for our opponent to sideboard. Maybe we should have taken more time with it. Hard to say though. Just patiently check our YouTube analytics, and you know, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video out to one of your Magic the Gathering Arena friends. Last month we gave away 120k gems. We still have 350k yet to give away, so don't miss out. Join the Discord, links in the description below. And we are playing today with MTGA Assistant. It's got everything you want, all the info you'll ever need, metagame analysis, deck write-ups, deck videos, just everything you could ever want here within MTGA Assistant. Link for that, again, in the description below. Playing first, we like the land, and we like this claim, especially with the Priest. It sucks that we're starting out so slow, but we are on the play, so it's not that bad, seeing as we don't have a 1-drop anyways. Priest in play. That's going to really help our Claim the Firstborn. Hit for 2. Butcher goes up. We can Mire plus Claim here. Cultivate's just annoying. We have to just hit hard. Hit hard, hit hard. Without an Uro, we should be able to beat them before Ugin. Unless there's field wipes. Oh, let's pray there's not. These are all 2s. Let's bring Lurrus in hand. Just in case we do get exiled, right? Yeah, we knew it. We knew it. Good play. Good read. Oh, another butcher off the top. That sucks. I like me butchers. Okay. Hopefully that there's no more removal. Right? They're at 5. Not good. Here's this pesky little Uro we were talking about. This is their 6-drop. Not good. Oh, 3 or less total. Cancel. We'll just play with Lurrus instead. Does the same thing. Play that big dumb Earl, man. Oh, Nissa. It's fine.
Cannot protect itself.
Right, we get to hit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We get close. That makes it less close. Unless we claim them both, and that is lethal. Let's double down, baby! Woohoo! All aboard! We still have to win another. Nissa is annoying. I'm gonna admit that straight up. We could take the grasp, but I think we just try to grab it with remorse if there's no Uro to snag. Our opponent obviously will play first. Rock Monster is amazing. I love it. Excited for the new elemental, the Royal. That's gonna be sick. Oof, this is a bad hand. That's a lot of land. 5 land in a deck that needs 3. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. Wow, this looks bad too. Only 10% chance to draw the correct land. Keep 5, toss a passage. Oops. This is going to be a hard game to win. Maybe these remorses save us. I don't know. Let's take Earl away. There's 2 of them. That's just lovely. They're locked on land? They're locked on land? Is this our chance? No land drop. No land drop. Okay, we got this somehow. Priest, if we draw a land, we can double Triton, sacrifice their Llanowar Elf. No land, no land, no land, no land. Oh, they get it. Right into a cultivate. Nice. Down 17. Oh man, this is still very bad. They've got a nice hand. They're gonna enter the God Eternals on us. We can't fizzle it because it targets both us and the priest. I mean, obviously we still take the draw, but they still get to amass 4. Now, where is our Claim the Firstborn? 0 counts as even. That's kind of a nice thing. We're ready to start hitting Kroxa, so they need to play their Ashiok to delete our Kroxas. Right? It's gotta be Ashiok. And then they... Yeah, oh, gross. Gross, gross, gross. We lose our Vessel, we lose our Kroxas. They have an Extinction Event on tap. Token's dead, Ashiok's down to 2.
You fear me.
Gutterbones in play tapped. We're going to use our Castle Locthwain to draw a card, taking 2 damage to do so. Nice. Big ouchies on this Nissa drop.
Seek shelter in my stewardship.
Let's see what we can pull. Not quite.
Harness the elements.
I mean, we can double drop it. That's cool. They have another eliminate. Or they're just thinking of their Ashiok. The Extinction Event. Land is even, so they'll do odds. Seems like a weird drop, right? Unless there's another Extinction Event, I don't know. Mostly just land off the top. We're down to 29. How do we kill this Nissa? We don't have enough land either to double play it. Oh no, sorry, we do. I keep thinking it costs 3, the same as Ura, but it's only 2. Forcing the double discard. There's that last Extinction Event. Oh man, we gotta hit the Ashiok so we can get this Kroxa back in play with Lurrus over and over. And hopefully we can just deal 3 damage enough times to kill him. I don't know, you know what I mean? Oh, stop it! What a top deck. What a top deck. Big ouchies. Salty ramp coming through, even though they land locked a few times. Right? Gross. We'll kill the dual color land. Oh, we have to take it. It's our only hope. We're dead if we don't. Well, we're dead anyways because the Gutterbones comes in tapped. And we can't do anything about that. Right, they've got 3 attackers. We only have 2 defenders. Good game. And they hit us with another event. Wow. Just hitting all of their key components flawlessly. Other than the land for a few turns, but no, it's good. It's a good matchup. We almost had them. We definitely did a lot better than I thought we would do. No one makes me bleed my own blood. Just another land off top. Take it on the chin. Good game. Let's try to sneak in another win. Not the worst. Playing first with the passage is ideal. Normally we wait and do this on their end step so they don't see what color we're playing, but I don't think it necessarily matters too much. Pushing aggro. Hopefully no removal. Gross. Here she comes. I'm not going to play the second Butcher. We are going to take the draw from it instead. I think that's just a better deal. Looking for another swamp. We don't get it. Kind of annoying. There it is. And again, same plan, at least anyways. Let's use our mana efficiently. Tomeo in the grave. Interesting. We don't want to play too heavy on the field because we know there's extinction events, right? This is going to be the bane of our existence. Down to 9 unless there is an event. If there's no event, I think we've got this in the pocket. Setting up 5 lands. There's the event. Yeah, so no damage from the Butcher, and we lose our Priest. Pretty gross. Playing Lurrus. Having a third black would have been nice there, but it is what it is. Organic Uro, which cannot be replayed unless there's a passage. Teferi, come on.
All right.
Draw them, discard down to 10. We need to make a move right now. If Teferi minuses, they die. If Teferi pluses, it lives. That's the, Really? Okay, so Teferi just dies. We gain a little bit of life here.
This was humbling.
We need to get use out of these Village Rites. We need Lurrus to survive. No extinction events on odds. Ah, that's good. Counterspell? No way. We'll basically just undo their casualties of war, other than the land, but now they kill Lurrus again anyways. We need to claim the Firstborn. Right, they're going to be playing Uros on top of us. Down to 8, up to 11. We need a claim off the top to take this Uro.
I was out of sync.
It will be worth Village Riting our own creatures to try to find it. This can block off the start though. And it forces the discard on them if there's no counter. Okay. Hydra Crisis too, interesting. No attacks. We just need a claim. Are you serious?
We will not fail. The land shall conquer you.
They take the draw. I hope it was bad. We have lots of life. Let's just kill the land, right? Earl's tapped. Nissa's dead. It's a land. They cycle it. No eliminate, no eliminate, no eliminate. It's another land! And there's claim for game. 6, 12, 14. Woof! Imagine getting hit with Kroxa and an Uro in the same turn. That was a hard game to win, though. That was not easy. Sultai giving us a run for our money, that's for sure. There's a lot of powerful cards in here. Is they gonna go after our graveyard because Lurrus? Probably. We'll wait and see. Making a little bit of making a little bit of room for removal. I just throw those two sentences together. It's not bad. We have land. A lot of it. Keep 6. Toss a passage. We have Village Rites and Claim. They already know what deck we are, so this doesn't matter. Let's go eliminate. Let's go. We take that one damage. Arrow. Roadie. Third land, please. Negative. How do we get around Extinction Event? We gotta pull it from their hand. Oh, Teferi's really good too.
If I don't have a plan, I'll just make one up.
Wow. We'll take the extra damage. End our turn. Village Rite it now. Kill Teferi.
I must have missed something.
We pull our third land. Hallelujah. We have Noxious Grasp.
In this land, we are all connected. Behold, nature's true power.
Bounces his Nissa to the top. Pro play. right? We need a secondary claim,
Together we will prevail.
but we need also another mountain for that. Ay caramba! No way. Okay.
Forgive me.
Like, are you serious? They're holding out? Eliminates their own creature. Wow. Big brain plays here. Earl in the house. Maybe we should have just put the blocker and tried to snake Earl from them. Wow. We can chump block for the draw. This is not good though. Earl in play. Nice. We're gonna have to take this into game number 3, it appears. Take our 1 damage, of course. Oof. Ooh. We can pull another creature off the top. It does help. Gutterbones can go. Let's play the Vessel. And Gutterbones again. Got rid of the land. We have a chump blocker for Uro. They must have removal. Alright. This was a hard match to win. Lots of removal. We need in that hand right away to disrupt it. I'm gonna drop a Village Rites. I like Gutterbones quite a bit. So it eliminates, it's the Teferi. We're gonna take 2 Rampages. What do we drop though? We've got a minute left. Entering tap does hinder progression, but it's a great sacrifice to bring back, right? It's got a reoccurring play. And 1 drops are incredible. To drop 2 though. The Butcher's almost immediately being dealt with is the only bad thing. Let's toss more Tritons. That's really good in, you know, like against mono green where you need both life gain and removal, so you're getting those death touch trades. Playing first. Land looks nice.
I was out of sync.
They have a dead hand other than Thought Erasure and whatever this other card was. They must be casting something for 1 green, though? Oh, they just needed the colored for that. I see. And we lose a claim. We'd pull another. If we pull a land, that would be nice. Just keep that hand hate alive. They want to hold on to that removal. Ending our turn here. We do have Nostr's Grasp instant speed for a Nissa if she hits. Another claim as well. Pass our turn. We can Locthwain and take a ton of damage. That's fine. Right, it escapes, which is just like a bummer. More Kroxa. We don't want to play Lurrus into the removal. Passing our turn. We need a sack outlet. Right? We're going to be claiming that Uro. They can Heartless Act their own Uro, I guess, but, you know, that's fine. Okay, here comes Uro. They need to draw another land for Heartless Act. We could just clean it now, but I want to take it. We're gonna get the draw. I don't want to do it, but I think we have to. Let's toss a big brain play of ourselves in motion. Nissa can hit the field. We'll claim the lands. And grasp the body. Really? Really? Let's take a look-see. Wow. Like, this is all kinds of bad, right? We take Nissa, though.
I must seek comfort in the land.
I kind of want to get beat up. We play into the removal. They have 2 cards in grave. We're safe from Uro for a bit. Will they play Heartless Act? Down to 9. They do, really. We can push Lurrus out with a 2-drop if we draw land. Red or green? So they can put red or green to the top of our library. Kroxa to the top of our library is actually not that bad. They're going to toss an event. Okay. They need to event Lurrus. The Druid stays alive. They're almost ready, unless they cast their Aether Gust on nothing. Gutterbones and Kroxa, and that way Aether Gust gets discarded. We have Noxious Grasp for removal. Uro can re-enter. Nice. Takes Claim, because we could have taken Uro with that. Makes sense. Oh, that sucks. We can play our Kroxa at least. Right? Maybe playing Lurrus there would have been a better call. And I guess we just snag Uro. Just a land, that's actually ideal. This is where it gets weird. Taking our non-creatures, just in case we get a chance to play those again. Right, we do have more Call of the Death Dweller. Menace can't be locked, 2 free damage. And our turn, we have Village Rites if anything goes wrong. So we are going from an aggro deck to really surviving this mid-range shenanigans. So they're going to pick even, right? Can we go full control here? Just so we get to see it before it happens, I think. Nope, we don't get a choice. We should have done our Village Rites and just banked on the fact that they pulled even. My turn, that's fine. Another Kroxa is amazing. Good game. Rakdos Sacrifice. It's pretty good. I mean, who printed Claim the Firstborn? You know what I mean? It is absolutely ridiculous. This card is so good. Claim it with Priest of the Forgotten Gods, and you know, you're not out to make friends. That's for sure. People are going to be upset with you. This was the bane for a long time. You know, I'm so happy to see Priest rotating out. I can't describe it. It is so good. You know, and then just having Lurrus on the top end to replay things like the Vessel, like the Butcher, like your Priest. It's disgusting. We can even sacrifice things and then replay them with Lurrus, which is, you know, like recycle, renew, and reuse. Very good value here within the deck. As far as changes, you know, I'm not about to preach on and try to change a #1 ranked Mythic deck. We get that in the comments a lot as well. It's like, oh, this is wrong and this is wrong. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure they've got it figured out. Maybe for your individual playstyle, yes, but in general, we each have our own individual playstyles, and I try to showcase and respect these creators' lists and decks, because, you know, they each have their own individual nuances, and yes, you could change something, but why do that when it's already great? If it's not broken, why fix it? That's how the saying goes, right? So Zendikar Rising is barreling towards us, like 13 or 14 more days, depending on when this comes out. We've got the pre-release event. You know, we've got a card spoiler coming up soon, so make sure to subscribe for that. That's going to be on the YouTube only, so that's going to be really cool for everybody there. And yeah, just like a bunch of jazz. As far as personal life goes, buckling in for winter. It's like getting cold out. Walking the cat, she only gets so many more walks, right, before it snows, and then she doesn't want to go out. Looking for a new place still, just trying to compound and get lots and lots of work done. I think we're at about like 1,800 Canadian a month. So like we could pay our rent, but I'm in a spot where my truck's about 10 years old and doesn't feel too safe anymore. So I want to buy a maybe not a new truck, but like some sort of vehicle that's more reliable, just because for the foreseeable future I won't have my own place, and I'm still going to be out in the homestead in the countries. So, you know, with the hour of driving every day to do uploads and the terrible Canadian winter roads, I do want something reliable and safe so we make it through the winter, right? And then, you know, just still trying to compound that income. You know, really thankful to everybody who's been supporting on the membership programs financially. Hopefully we can get our own place here that will allow the cat. That's what's holding us back right now. So that's a bummer, but it's fine. We got our kitty, we got our computer. The internet is good enough to make the content. The stream is good most days. It's not 1080p, but whatever, screw it. We're getting by, and, you know, we're building our dream business. So super grateful. And I've been doing a lot of gratitude work with all of the viewers. Everybody who's on the lives gets like a gratitude spirit bomb. It's power up and blast you guys with some good vibes. So trying to give back in what little ways I can. And, you know, if you ever want to talk, I'm your guy. Reach out to me on Discord. I got you. You know, we all go through tough times, myself included. So it's always cool to just have a friend in those hard times. So I'm not only here for the Magic Arena videos. I'm here just as a general friend as well. So come say hello. We've got the Discord. You know, it's not just me. There's like thousands of people in there that are just as friendly and as kind as myself. So it's a great place to pass some time and keep your mind off of the crazy world at large, right? So appreciate it. Started my personal development again today. We're reading, we're working out, we're meditating, we're trying to eat healthier, and we are doing all of that with our wicked work ethic. 2 videos a day. I don't even know how I'm doing it. It's absolutely crazy. But again, as long as you guys keep watching the content, keep loving it, I'm going to keep pushing it out as fast as I can, and I am excited for Zendikar, boy. I cannot wait for the cards, for the channel growth. It's going to be great. So thank you guys again for your time and attention. You're amazing. You know my live schedule, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 p.m., Mountain Standard. Use the notification systems by following me so you don't have to do the time conversions. And, you know, we're in the Discord all day as well, so check that out. We gave out 120k gems last month, 350k to still give away, and we also have free entry cash prize monthly tournaments for all Artisan. Just come hang out, come say hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's your guys' spirit bomb. Scared my cat so bad. Peace out, you guys. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.